How could you not know the Gaki was a senju? Asked Jiraiya incredulously to Tsunade. Tsunade merely shrugged. The brat's 14 years old. Sarutobi-sensei sent me a letter every 5 years. I got one when the Kyuubi attacked, 5 years after that Naruto age 5, and 5 years after that one Naruto age 10. He sent me a fourth one about a year later, Naruto age 11, but I lost it escaping a debt collector, said a sheepish Tsunade, ashamed at losing important Konoha information. Damn, the brat has really wanted to meet you for so long, but at least you'll be back now, said Jiraiya as Tsunade nodded. It was time to head back to Konoha and everyone was ready to go. Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Shizune were all outside the city walls as Yujito was walking up to the trio. However, Naruto was nowhere to be seen. Where the hell is the Gaki? He's never late, not since I've been with him. You haven't seen Naruto, have you, Yujito? Asked Jiraiya. Yujito shook her head. No, Jiraiya-sama. I haven't seen him at all. He's not in trouble, is he? No, I wouldn't think so. You've seen the brat fight, he could take on damn near anyone. Plus, we'd feel his presence if he was fighting someone powerful. Maybe I'll summon a toad to find him. You guys go ahead, we'll catch up, said Jiraiya. The ladies all nodded and began to walk away from Tanzaka-gai toward Konoha, chatting all the while. Jiraiya waited another 5 minutes until he decided to find Naruto. Right before he could bite his thumb to summon a toad, Jiraiya heard a shout and the sound of a person landing. I'm right here, shouted Naruto as he landed next to Jiraiya. Sorry about that. I got lost on the road of life, said Naruto as Jiraiya sweat dropped at that excuse. Damn Gaki, you need to find a better excuse, said Jiraiya as he took notice of Naruto's attire. Trying to look like your sensei, eh? Nice scroll. Naruto had a huge scroll strapped to his back in the same way that Jiraiya did. He had put back on his Umbu uniform sans mask and had a black strap across his chest that held the scroll to his back. Jiraiya noticed something special about the scroll though. Is that the scroll of seals? How do you have it? It was given to me by Jiraiya Kyofu, godfather, said Naruto as Jiraiya's expression became one of shock. You read Sensei's letter then? Naruto nodded his head. Yeah, I did. Flashback. Last night. It was around midnight and Naruto was sitting on his bed alone in his room. Yujito and Jiraiya had left to their own rooms and were sound asleep. Naruto dug into his backpack as he pulled out something. It was the envelope that Sarutobi had written to him. You going to read that now, Naruto? Asked Kurama as he was also anxious to see what was inside as well. No time like the present, said Naruto as he opened the envelope. It contained a letter as Naruto opened it and read the first line. Hello Naruto-kun, here we go. Thought Naruto as he read through the rest of the letter. Letter start. I wrote this letter in hopes that I would never have to let you read it because if you do, then I am no longer alive. This letter entails what I promised to tell you when you were 8 years old. That once you become strong enough, I would tell you about your parents. You were more than strong enough a while ago, but I kept prolonging telling you because I didn't know how you'd react. But no more of that because I promised to do it at the end of the Chunin exams. Your name, Naruto, comes from the book of you and your father's sensei, Jiraiya. Naruto, you are the son of Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage that I know it's hard to believe, but yes, you are indeed his son. Minato couldn't choose someone else's child for the sealing if he wasn't willing to sacrifice his own. Minato was a shrewd man, rarely doing something without reason. I'm sure there was another reason besides keeping the balance of power between the nations equal for placing the Kyuubi in you. There was probably an enemy shinobi who took the Kyuubi and set it on the village while your mother was giving birth to you. Yes, your mother was the Jinchuriki before you and the seal weakened during childbirth. We set up many security parameters to prevent that from happening. Not to mention that your father and mother were seal masters. It might have been hard to keep the Kyuubi at bay, but I believe they could have done it. That's why I believe that there was another shinobi there who interfered with the sealing. But that's just purely speculation. Maybe the Kyuubi did just get free, we'll never know as we weren't there. Your mother was a beautiful woman. Kushina was a very level-headed and often cheerful young woman. Even though she usually had a calm and kind demeanor, she did have quite the temper on her and occasionally lashed out at those that angered her. She was also fearless and more than anything, loved your father and you very much. Kushina is also special to Konoha as she is the first great-granddaughter of Mito Uzumaki and Hashirama Senju. This came to be because her grandmother, Hashirama and Mito's first child, was sent to Uzushio-gakure, Hidden Edi Village, the village that housed the famous Uzumaki clan where Mito originated from. She was sent there due to the agreement between Konoha and Uzushio, that a child of Hashirama and Mito would eventually be sent back to their village to live and cement our already strong alliance. Years later, as Mito, the first Kyuubi Jinchuriki, was reaching the end of her lifespan, Kushina was sent back to the village to become its second Jinchuriki. She had the chakra and ability to restrain Jinchuriki just like her great-grandmother. So you were indeed already related to Hashirama-sensei before you even discovered your Mokutan ability. I didn't have a lot of time to write this letter as it's about an hour away from the start of the Chunin exams, but I trust this answered your questions. I'm sure you're going to grow stronger and even one day surpass all of the Hokages. I entrust the village with you, Naruto-kun. Please protect it always. I'll be looking down from above, so do impress. To help you on your journey, I've decided to give you a gift that was originally your forefathers. Please use it well and be sure to continue your dreams. When the tree leaves dance, one shall find flames. The fire's shadow will illuminate the village, and once again, tree leaves shall bud anew. Letter end. The letter came with a picture of a pregnant Kushina with Minato rubbing her belly. They both were looking happy and lovingly at Kushina's pregnant belly, which contained Naruto. Naruto cried a little bit as he looked the picture over. "Tusan, father, Ka-chan mother," said Naruto. "I really was loved. I had parents that loved me. Ka-chan is so pretty. We have the same eyes and she has beautiful red hair. I had a mother and father that wanted me." Naruto had several more tears fall from his face as he continued to look at the picture of his parents. There was a seal at the end of his letter, but he hadn't bothered opening it yet. "Naruto dash," said Kurama until Naruto cut him off. "You knew? This whole time?" asked Naruto. "You were sealed into my mother and my great-great-grandmother and didn't tell me." Kurama stayed quiet as Naruto continued to weep. "I had my suspicions that I was his son. Who else has golden blonde hair like this? That's why I cut it this way. It was the only thing that made sense. But to actually see it and know it's true, I don't know how to feel." Naruto sat staring at the words written by Hiruzen for several more minutes until he heard Kurama speak again. "Of course I knew. I could have told you, but that old man seemed like the one who wanted to. I felt it wasn't my right to take that away from him," said Kurama. "But the old man was right. There was interference that day. A shinobi who wielded the Sharingan. He took you hostage and separated your father from your mother. Since Kushina's seal was weakened at the time due to childbirth, he managed to rip me from the seal and control me with that detestable Sharingan. Your father eventually stopped me and managed to seal me into you at that point. Though it did cost your parents their lives as I attempted to kill you, but they jumped in the way. I'm sorry about that." Naruto sat for a few more minutes pondering Kurama's words. "It's fine. You probably didn't want to be sealed again. I wouldn't want to either. But this guy you speak of, with the ability to control you with his Sharingan, is he still alive? If so, could you point him out to me?" asked Naruto in a gravely serious tone at the last part. "I'm not sure. But yes, I could if you ever came across him." "Why?" asked Kurama, even though he already knew the answer. "I'm going to kill him for what he's done," said Naruto as Kurama grinned and nodded. Kurama wanted a piece of that bastard too. "Nobody controls me with a Sharingan and gets away with it," said Kurama until he realized something. "Except Madara Uchiha, who did it but died before I could get to him. He got away with it. But most people who control me with a Sharingan don't get away with it. Well, actually, Madara was the only one who ever controlled me with a Sharingan. So after we get that punk, only half the people who controlled me with a Sharingan will have gotten away with it," finished Kurama as he got a slight laugh out of Naruto. Naruto then remembered the last part of Sarutobi's letter and placed his hand over the seal. A poof of smoke later and a huge scroll landed in Naruto's lap. "The scroll of seals?" said Naruto as he recognized the scroll. Why did he give it to me? It's supposed to be for the Hokage's eyes only? Well, it was owned by Hashirama Senju. It probably has techniques in there that someone with your ability can use. Plus, he knew it would safer in your hands anyway. It was stolen once before, remember? Said Kurama as Naruto nodded. Yeah. Mizuki became a traitor and tried to steal it. Who's to say someone else won't? I'll let Jiraiya-sensei, Jiraiya Kyofu and Tsunade Bakon know in the morning, said Naruto. Naruto destroyed Sarutobi's letter as he laid back down to get some rest. Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto didn't get much rest that night as he sat up thinking about his parents. Flashback end, Jiraiya looked at Naruto as he said, "So you know I'm your godfather." Yeah. It's pretty cool actually. Why do you think I called you Jiraiya Kyofu? Asked Naruto as he saw Jiraiya's shocked expression. What? You're not even mad or anything. I could have raised you? Asked Jiraiya as he picked back up his jaw. Meh, said Naruto nonchalantly. Why should I be? There's no use crying over the past. I'm not going to be a chump and bitch about why you were never around. I never asked to be checked on. I just wanted to find someone to acknowledge me, and I got that with Gigi and a few others. Plus, you had duties to attend to and probably your own things to deal with, since Minato was your student, said Naruto as he then took on a thoughtful expression. Plus, I couldn't imagine what I'd be like if I had you as an active influence on my life during my childhood. And now, at least I know who gave me my sweet little Gamachan. Naruto pulled out what appeared to be a wallet shaped like a toad and rubbed it against his face lovingly. Jiraiya smiled down at Naruto. You took that better than anyone could have expected, Gaki. I'm proud of you. So are you going to change your name or something? Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Senju or something weird like that. That would be too stupid, and I still don't think you should tell people about your parents, said Jiraiya as Naruto shook his head in agreement. What the hell kind of name is that? That's way too long in the first place. Being a Senju is fine enough, and I understand about not telling people about my father and mother. I already have a huge bounty, I don't need a bigger one, said Naruto. Well, great then, kid. Let's get on the road. And maybe we'll find a better way to conceal that scroll, said Jiraiya as Naruto nodded. Well, Orochimaru did seal a summoning contract on his arm. I'll probably put a tattoo on me to store the scroll in and only take it out when I need it. Can you do something like? Said Naruto as Jiraiya smiled. Of course. We'll do it when we get back to Konoha. Let's catch up to the girls first, said Jiraiya as he and Naruto took to the treetops to catch up. Konoha, several hours later. Man, today is so boring, shouted Kotetsu as he slammed his forehead onto the desk of the guard booth. Kotetsu had been assigned gate guard duty again and was really getting bored with what was going on, or rather the lack of what was going on. Izumo chuckled slightly. You're right, but I have a feeling something good will happen. The last time I felt this feeling was when we saw that Umbu with Jiraiya-sama, said Izumo. Izumo then noticed several figures approaching in the distance. Seems some people are coming. Kotetsu got prepared to write down their names as he then gasped slightly. That's Tsunade-sama, shouted Izumo as he recognized the blonde lady in front of them. She's with Jiraiya-sama and Shizen-san. And that same Umbu. Did they return her to the village? Wait, that's Naruto. Naruto. Naruto looked toward the gate as he saw Izumo and Kotetsu. Those were the Chunin who placed that genjutsu on the door during the Chunin exams. Oh hey guys. Damn, you guys stay at this gate? Do you guys have eternal gate guards in Kumo Yugi-chan? Asked Naruto as he turned to Yujito. She had gone unnoticed by Izumo and Kotetsu up until that point. Yujito laughed slightly. Yeah, we do. They are always at the gate as well. Ever since I could remember. Started Yujito until she was stopped by Kotetsu from entering Konoha. I'm sorry, Mom. We cannot allow you to enter our village under any circumstance, said Kotetsu as Yujito shook her head. But I'm here to show our treaty papers to your Hokage. The previous 10-year agreement is ending soon and I'm here to reestablish it. Here are my papers, said Yujito as Izumo shook his head. That's the thing. We don't have a Hokage at this point, so we can't allow you to enter. Sorry, said Izumo. Izumo then heard a series of coughs from Naruto that sounded vaguely like, "Tsunade is the new Hokage. She's fine. I'm the Godame Hokage, so she has my permission. So could you please let her through?" asked Tsunade as Izumo fainted in shock. "Yes, ma'am. Godame-sama. As you all were," said Kotetsu as he dragged Izumo back into the guard booth. The group of 5 and a pig headed toward the Hokage Tower as Kotetsu tried waking up his partner. "Damn, Izumo. You were right, it did get interesting. Tsunade, Shizune, Jiraiya, Naruto, and Yujito all arrived in the Hokage Tower and were situated in Tsunade's new office. I can't believe I came back here. Let alone became the Hokage," said Tsunade as she took in a deep breath and exhaled. Naruto smiled and threw a hand around Tsunade's shoulder. "But you are, and it's for the best. The village needed you, and it's definitely going to be much better off with you back here," said Naruto as Tsunade smiled. "We'll see about that, brat. But technically you're the only Konoha ninja I've met, and I'm sure there's a crap ton of stuff I have to do before I can truly settle in. So get the hell out of my office and do something with your life. I'm sure I'll see you again soon. We have many things to discuss, Naruto. Senju," said Tsunade as Naruto nodded in understanding. Naruto looked at Yujito expectantly. "Oh right," said Yujito as she pulled out the scroll written by the Raikage and handed it to Tsunade. Tsunade opened the scroll and read through its contents quickly. After about a minute or so, Tsunade nodded. "Looks good. I'll give you a reply scroll after a couple of days once I consult with a few people. For now, welcome to Konoha," said Tsunade as she smiled at Yujito. Yujito looked shocked. "You're not even going to have someone watch me? I'm a foreign shinobi in your village? I mean, no harm, but really?" said Yujito until she heard Naruto go through another fit of coughs. Though these coughs sounded like, "I'll be watching you. Don't worry. I already have a ninja guarding you. He's right here, now get going, Naruto and Yujito. I have things to do," said Tsunade. "Shall we, Yugi-chan?" asked Naruto as he held out an arm for Yujito. Yujito smiled at the gesture and linked arms with Naruto as they walked out of the office. "Now, time to get to business. Shizune, please alert all shinobi of Chunin rank or higher that they will have a meeting with me personally as I need to get acquainted with the shinobi here. I'm sure the elders will be here to talk soon too, so be prepared for that. I'm pretty sure I'll have a coronation tomorrow. Damn, I hate speeches." "Oh, and," said Tsunade. Jiraiya was trying to sneak out of the window, but Tsunade grabbed his collar. "Jiraiya, you're helping me. You got me into this mess. Then you can help me get settled in. That's an order." Jiraiya cried anime tears as he was forced to stay and help out Tsunade. He had wanted to go do some research at the hot springs, but was now stuck with Tsunade for the day. "Naruto's apartment. So this is where you live?" asked Yujito as she sat upon Naruto's couch. Naruto had taken her to his apartment so he could change out of his umbu uniform. "This is home. Ever since I was 6 years old, I've been here," called out Naruto from his room. "You know, kitten, that boy is probably naked in there right now. You should just walk in there right now. Push him onto his bed and climb on top of the," started Yujito's bijou until she cut her off. Yujito was blushing a serious shade of red. "You know, this seems very suggestive, Naruto-kun," said Yujito as Naruto walked out of the room. "Well, excuse me. I'm not that easy, Yugi-chan. You have to buy me dinner first," said Naruto as Yujito laughed slightly. He was wearing a simple gray shirt with a black Senju clan emblem on the back and black pants with black shinobi sandals. He left his forehead protector today as his hair fell slightly to cover his forehead, and he put the scroll of seals into a smaller scroll which placed that in his ninja pouch. "Let's show you Konoha," said Naruto as he and Yujito exited his apartment. "You were just in the Hokage Tower, and a little bit away is the academy, right over here." Naruto walked Yujito around Konoha, pointing out places of interest, running through a little detail on each of them. As Naruto was walking Yujito around, he was being greeted by civilians calling him a hero. "A hero, huh?" said Yujito with an interested smirk. Naruto smiled back. "Something like that, though I wouldn't call myself a hero. I was merely doing my job as any other ninja would," said Naruto as Yujito shook her head slightly. That's exactly what a hero would say, said Yujito. Her stomach then growled slightly as Naruto took notice. I know the perfect place for dinner, said Naruto, still smiling as he touched Yujito's shoulder. The next instant, Naruto and Yujito vanished in a powerful shunshin. As they vanished, a person who had been stalking the two ever since she saw them looked up shocked at the quick disappearance. Naruto and Yujito's stalker blew the bang out of her face as she thought, Naruto-kun's back, but who's that girl with him? What the hell is she doing with my man? I have to get to the bottom of this, thought the person as she went around Konoha searching for Naruto again. Naruto and Yujito appeared on top of a building as Naruto jumped down back to the street. I will never get over how fast your shunshin speed is. It's incredible, said Yujito as she joined Naruto on the ground in front of the restaurant. This is the place? Ichiraku's? Trust me, it's the best ramen. No, food. In the world, said Naruto as he opened the flap for him and Yujito to step inside. Yo, old man and Ayam-chan. I'm back. Out from the back came the owner of the restaurant, Tucci. Naruto, my boy, you're back. And Oho? Who's the pretty lady with you? Asked Tucci as Yujito blushed slightly. This is Kumo's Hellcat, Yujito ni. She's in town for a little while as we do peace talks between villages, said Naruto, who stopped Tucci from asking his next question. Yes, we have a new Hokage. It's Tsunade-bakon. Tucci nodded his head and smiled happily at the announcement. Tsunade-sama is the new Hokage. That's great news. So great. That your meal is on the house, Naruto, and your dates too, said Tucci as Naruto fist pumped in the air. Hell yeah! Shouted Naruto as he and Yujito ordered their food. As they sat and ate, several figures were spying on them. Holy shit! Said one of the spies with a small dog on his head barking in agreement. Naruto sure knows a hot chick when he sees one. Get it in, bro, as he said that he was elbowed in the side by a blonde. Shut up, Kiba. We're here to find out what that girl wants with my Naruto-kun, said the blonde as a pink-haired girl agreed. Ino's right, Kiba. But sheesh, that chick is amazing. She's everything you want to be, Ino. She's got the curves, the style, and started the pink-haired girl until she was cut off by Kiba. Boobs. Not like the girls from our class like Sakura and you, Ino. All flat-chested and underdeveloped, said Kiba as he realized Akamaru was gone. Akamaru? Where'd you go, boy? Kiba heard Akamaru bark several feet away. Idiot? Why would he call me a... thought Kiba until he was hit by a huge amount of killing intent. What was that, Kiba? Asked Ino as she cracked her knuckles. You want to repeat what you said about girls from your class? Specifically me and Sakura? Finished Ino as Sakura cracked her knuckles too. I said, shit, said Kiba as he got pummeled to the floor by a righteous Ino and Sakura as Sakura and Ino were pummeling Kiba. They didn't realize they had their own audience. Sakura and Ino-chan. Ino and Sakura froze at the voice. Mid-punch Ino looked up with a smile. Naruto-kun. Hi. When'd you get back? Said Ino as she straightened up along with Sakura. Not too long ago. Why are you beating down on Kiba? Asked Naruto as Ino and Sakura smiled sheepishly. Before they could answer, Kiba beat them to the punch. 'Cause they're jealous of the hot girl beside you, said Kiba. Yujito laughed slightly as Naruto looked amused. Well then, this is Yujito, a Kumo ninja. She's here to negotiate a treaty between our villages. Yes, we have a new Hokage. It's Tsunade-bakon, said Naruto as Sakura perked up. Tsunade as in Tsunade Senju, one of the 3 Sannin? She's here? Asked Sakura as Naruto nodded. Sakura took off at that announcement. She was a budding medic nin, and who better to talk to than the greatest one in the world. Kiba had already stumbled away, leaving Ino alone with the other blondes. Ino smiled awkwardly as she said, Well, I think my father needs me at the flower shop. Bye. Finished Ino as she took off. Yujito smirked slightly. Seems someone is a woman killer. I hope your little stalker didn't think we never noticed her before just now, said Yujito as Naruto shook his head slightly with a smile. Naruto noticed the sun going down and got another idea. Hey, Yugi-chan, you want to see my favorite spot in all of Konoha? Especially during this time of day. Naruto didn't wait for Yujito to answer as he grabbed her hand and vanished in another shunshin. Several minutes later, Yujito understood why this was Naruto's favorite spot. "It's beautiful," said Yujito. Naruto had taken them to the top of the Hokage monument on the Yandame's head to watch the sunset. Naruto smiled slightly. "Yeah, it is. I come up here just to watch it all. My village and the view of the sunset that paints it a beautiful shade," said Naruto as he didn't notice Yujito staring at him. "He's so amazing, and doesn't even realize it," thought Yujito as her bijou nodded in agreement. "You could make him realize, kitten," said the Nibi as Yujito became confused internally. Sensing her Jinchuriki's wonder, Nibi decided to elaborate. "All you have to do is tear his clothes off and ride him until he started the Nibi until she was cut off by Yujito. "Thank you, Nibi," thought Yujito as she and Naruto watched the sun go down. Eventually, Yujito yawned slightly, and it didn't escape Naruto's attention. "Tired?" asked Naruto as Yujito nodded slightly. "Well, let's get you to a bed." Naruto and Yujito stood up as Naruto gestured for her to get on his back. "You do realize I can walk to a hotel, right?" said Yujito, even though she still climbed onto Naruto's back. Naruto smirked slightly and began to walk down the mountain face using chakra to stay attached to it. "I know. I just have this fetish for carrying beautiful women. Sorry about that," said Naruto with a smile. Yujito blushed again as Naruto continued to a local inn in Konoha to drop Yujito off for the night. 2 days later, 2 days had passed since Naruto returned to Konoha with Tsunade. Konoha introduced her as their 5th Hokage the day after their arrival. After her coronation, Naruto took Yujito to the hospital to meet Sasuke. Sasuke had been in a coma since Itachi used his jutsu on him. Tsunade had healed him earlier and Naruto decided to visit his friend. The visit was cool. Sasuke kept calling Yujito Naruto's girlfriend, but they denied it every time. The only weird thing about the visit was that Naruto almost knocked over an old man with a cane. The old man had bandages around his right eye and an X on his chin. Upon asking Sasuke who that was, Sasuke said he had no clue, just a civilian trying to make sure he was fine. Naruto nodded his head but kinda was wondering if that really was what happened. Today though, Naruto and Yujito were headed to Tsunade's office. Naruto had been summoned by a hawk telling him to come and bring Yujito as well. Naruto and Yujito arrived in Tsunade's office to see Kakashi, Sasuke, Asuma, Shikamaru, Kurenai, and Shino standing in front of Tsunade's desk. Seated in Tsunade's desk was Tsunade herself with Shizune and Jiraiya standing behind her. Shikaku Nara, Konoha's Jonin commander, was also in the office along with Konoha's council, Hamura Mitokado and Koharu Utatane. Naruto stood beside Sasuke as Tsunade addressed everyone. "Nice to see you arrive, brat. Now we can get this started. I have gone over the recommendations and performances from the recent Chunin exams. You 4 did extremely well. Shikamaru Nara, for your well-thought-out strategy and excellent use of your clan's jutsu and know-how of when to get away, you are being promoted to Chunin. Come get your flak jacket," said Tsunade as Shikamaru lazily walked over to Shizune to grab his new jacket. Shikamaru sighed as he grabbed his flak jacket. "Troublesome. Now I have to do more missions and they'll be harder." "Troublesome," said Shikamaru as Asuma patted him on the back. "Damn, he's lazy. Didn't even get excited," thought Tsunade as she moved on to the next genin. "Shino Aburame, for great planning against your opponent and amazing prowess in your family's jutsu, you are being promoted to Chunin. Come get your flak jacket," said Tsunade as Shino moved to get his flak jacket. "Thank you, Hokage-sama," said Shino as he grabbed his flak jacket and moved back beside a smiling Kurenai. "Sasuke Uchiha, for a great display of taijutsu, genjutsu, and ninjutsu. Great mastery of fire techniques and your dojutsu, along with finishing your matches with efficiency and your help during the invasion. You are being promoted to Chunin. Come and grab your flak jacket," said Tsunade as Sasuke smirked slightly. Sasuke walked up and grabbed his flak jacket as he said, "Thank you." Sasuke then turned to Naruto. "Told you I'd get my flak jacket before you." Naruto chuckled slightly at Sasuke, who walked back beside him. "Naruto Senju," said Tsunade as Naruto looked on excited at this moment. For a great display of ability well above Genin level, maybe even Chunin level, including the controlled use of your bijou, the display of a Kekai Genkai only seen once, and your assistance during the invasion. I hereby promote you to Chunin. Please come get your flak jacket. Naruto strode over to Shizune and grabbed his vest as he also got a hug from Shizune. Naruto walked back beside Sasuke as Tsunade smiled at her new Chunins. Congratulations to all of you for your promotions. Do Konoha proud, said Tsunade. Shino and Kurenai, you may leave. I have something for these three. Finished Tsunade as Kurenai and Shino nodded and exited the office. Koharu, Hamura, and Shikaku also left as this part had nothing to do with them. Good. Now that they're gone, Shikamaru, I have a letter for you. It's from the Fire Daimyo asking for you to become one of his personal guardians. It's up to you, so think about it and give me your answer before the week is up, said Tsunade as she handed Shikamaru a letter. Troublesome, said Shikamaru as he grabbed the letter and left along with Asuma. Yugito ni. I have a response for you to return to your rakeage when you go back. I'm certain that will be within the day, so have a great trip back. It was a pleasure getting to know you, and I'm certain I'll see you again. I need to speak to Sasuke and Naruto in private for a second, so if you could please wait outside for a little bit. I'm sure you want to say goodbye to your boyfriend, so I'll try to get him out quickly, said Tsunade as she handed a blushing Yujito a scroll as she then exited. As soon as she left, an Umbu in a tiger mask appeared from the floorboard. Naruto recognized the Umbu immediately. Tora-sensei, does this mean it's time? Thought Naruto. Naruto Senju and Sasuke Uchiha. I'm assuming you both still want to be Umbu, said Tora as they both nodded their heads. Good. Be at this location at 8 a.m. sharp. Don't be late, and only bring yourselves and your Umbu equipment. See you then. Finished Tora as he dissolved back into the floorboard. Well, I'm out of here. Good luck tomorrow, you two. I'm so proud of you guys, have fun, said Kakashi as he poofed away in a shunshin. See you tomorrow morning, Sasuke, said Naruto as he and Sasuke fist bumped. Naruto walked out of Tsunade's office as he found Yujito seated outside. You want to go get your stuff? Asked Naruto as Yujito nodded. Naruto and Yujito walked to go and get her stuff ready to leave. After about an hour, Naruto and Yujito were situated at the village gate. Well, this looks like it's it for a while, said Yujito as Naruto nodded. True that. Unless you decide to come to find me again. I wouldn't mind that at all, said Naruto as Yujito smiled. Yujito lunged at Naruto, who was unprepared for her sudden movement. Yujito wrapped her arms around his neck in a hug. Thank you for this past week. It's been one of the best of my lives, said Yujito, still pressed into Naruto. Naruto finally got over his shock and hugged her back. No problem. We'll make a better one next time we meet. That's a promise, said Naruto, still hugging Yujito. Yujito could feel Naruto's ever-prominent warmth. Yujito gathered some courage from said warmth and moved her head back slightly, which made Naruto look toward her. Before he could say or do anything, Yujito pressed her lips against his. It was a fast kiss and barely more than a peck. It did, however, let Naruto feel Yujito's soft lips, and he even tried to lean back in to continue it, but Yujito spoke first. Don't tell anyone that happened. That was just my way of saying thank you. Don't look into it, said Yujito as she walked away from Naruto. Or do. Either or is fine with me. Naruto watched Yujito turn and walk away. As she walked away, Yujito was swaying her hips ever so slightly and Naruto couldn't help but notice every curve of her perfect body. That's just not fair, thought Naruto as he watched her all the way until she disappeared off the path. Damn, you were winning this whole time and then she hits you with that. Yujito 1, Naruto 0. Good luck evening the score, said Kurama as Naruto smirked slightly. I'll definitely even the score. But first, I need to see Jiraiya-sensei about that tattoo. Then I'll get prepped for tomorrow. Big day ahead, thought Naruto as he walked back through the gate. Hell yeah, Naruto. Bagging that Kumo bombshell. I saw that kiss just now. Way to go, shouted Izumo at the gate. Izumo and Kotetsu had watched Naruto and Yujito the whole time and clearly caught all the action. Naruto rubbed the back of his neck sheepishly as he vanished in a shunshin to escape that conversation. Damn, he's gone already. You get the picture for Jiraiya-sama? Asked Izumo as Kotetsu nodded and held up a picture. You know I did. Ika Makeout Tactics, first edition with his autograph. Score. Said Kotetsu as he held up the picture of Yujito and Naruto mid-kiss. The next morning, Naruto arrived at the location given to him by Tora. It was a subtle gesture with his hands as he spoke that Naruto guessed was a sort of test to make sure you were Umbu material. Naruto was wearing his Umbu uniform and had bandages wrapped around his right shoulder down to his bicep. Naruto noticed Sasuke walk up about 2 minutes later and held out a fist to his friend. Nice of you to catch that yesterday, said Naruto as Sasuke smirked as he flashed his Sharingan. I have the best eyes out of us two, of course. I caught that small detail. You ready to be an Umbu? It's hard out there, said Sasuke, bumping fist with Naruto as he let his Sharingan fade. Naruto nodded his head until he realized something. Hard out there? What do you mean? Have you been out there before? Asked Naruto as he questioned Sasuke. Sasuke had been acting fishy lately. Before Sasuke could answer, an Umbu in a snake mask appeared. Hello, recruits. Today marks the start of your specialized training to become an official Umbu, said Hibi, Snake, as Naruto looked confused. Training? I thought we were already in? Asked Naruto as he got a sense of dread from Hibi. He could feel the sinister smile of the Umbu that only one lady he knew had. Of course Anko is Hibi. Oh no. Thought Naruto as Hibi pulled out a kunai. No, my dear Gaki. That was just an invitation. The real fun begins now, and if you survive these next 2 months, then you'll make it. If not, then you'll not be one, you may even die. Who knows? Said Hibi as she then said, Welcome to hell. 2 months later, there was a full moon tonight as 2 figures stood atop the Hokage Tower. They were both clad in Umbu uniforms, one with a raised collar and hawk mask on. The other was standing with his golden blonde hair swaying with the gentle breeze as he held his Gamma mask in his hand. It was Naruto and Sasuke dressed in the same Umbu uniforms they wore during the Chunin exams with swords now strapped to their backs. You ready? Asked Sasuke through his mask. Naruto placed on his own mask and replied, Ready. At that word, both of the two vanished into thin air and arrived in front of a building. Right outside the door, Tsunade was standing there waiting for them. As the two landed, Tsunade nodded her head at the two who nodded back in reply. Tsunade looked proud at the 2 shinobi in front of her. One was her nephew and the other was his best friend. They were ready. From everything she had seen in the past 2 months, they were as formidable as they come. 2 ninjas who were well on their way to becoming the best. Both of them were friends and also rivals. For a brief moment, Tsunade thought she saw her grandfather and Madara, but she quickly dispelled that thought as she opened the door and escorted the 2 new Umbu inside. It was time for Gamma and Taka's Hawk initiation into Umbu. As the Hokage, it was Tsunade's job to oversee the initiation ceremony. After all, they were directly chosen by her and meant to serve her, so of course, she would be there. Tsunade opened a huge double door as she motioned for Naruto and Sasuke to enter. Upon entering, Naruto and Sasuke noticed several Umbu standing around a small lighted area in a circle. Naruto and Sasuke both entered the small circle as then noticed Kakashi standing there reading his orange book. Kakashi-sensei. Of course he'd be here. He was an Umbu captain. Thought Naruto as Tsunade stepped in front of the 2 recruits. All of the surrounding Umbu, including Naruto and Sasuke, bowed at Tsunade's appearance. Kakashi merely threw out a mock salute as he continued to read his book. My fellow shinobi, we are here today to welcome 2 recruits into Umbu. Gamma.
Taka.
Please step forward, said Tsunade as Naruto and Sasuke approached Tsunade. The other Umbu picked their heads back up as Tsunade continued to speak. They have passed the trials of an Umbu and have been sworn in to protect Konoha at all costs. By the power invested in me by Konoha, I hereby announce Naruto Senju and Sasuke Uchiha as official members of the Umbu Black Ops. Welcome your new brothers. As Tsunade said that, the swirl marks on Naruto and Sasuke's left arm, between their shoulder and bicep, glowed red until it became its original black again. Several of the surrounding Umbu came down to greet the new members. "How you do think they'll do?" asked Tsunade as Kakashi snapped his book closed. "I'm sure they'll be fine, Tsunade-sama. Trust me, I was their sensei after all," said Kakashi as Tsunade nodded. "Seems they'll be just fine," thought Tsunade watching Naruto and Sasuke interact with their new teammates.